There can be nothing more frustrating than being stuck in traffic due to lights out because of power cuts. Many people have taken it on themselves to direct traffic in the absence of traffic officers. But now the JMPD is warning residents against the practice. It says they're not authorized and the department will not be held liable if anything goes wrong. So let's get more from the JMPD's Xolani Fihla. Mr. Fihla, thank you so much for joining us this evening. So at many of Joburg's big traffic intersections, homeless people, beggars, informal traders and ordinary South Africans have taken it upon themselves to direct traffic during load shedding in the hope of some form of payment from drivers. And the problem is that, as you said, they're not trained. Sometimes they're not entirely visible to motorists because they do not have the correct gear. They're often not well coordinated between each other, raising risks. And when they're offered money, they promptly stop directing traffic and run to the vehicle who's offering to give them a tip. So I completely understand that there are several risks involved in the practice. My question is, if they're not allowed to do this, who's going to stop them? And what are motorists supposed to do when the traffic light is manned by a number of people directing traffic? Do you then listen to the JMPD and say, well, I'm going to stop and treat it like a four-way stop because this person is unauthorized? Or am I going to listen to the people directing traffic because if I don't, there's going to be an accident?
Thank you to you, and let me greet the viewers. Yes, it is a big challenge, and when we do see these unauthorized people controlling traffic, it is commendable to a certain point, but we do know that if an accident does happen whilst they are controlling traffic, then the city won't be liable and it'll be at the cost of the motorist. So it is important. We do know that when you do get your driving license, one from the test is that when traffic lights are not working, it's important that you do treat that intersection as a compulsory or a four-way stop. But it's also important that if you do come across that type of situation as a motorist, please do call the Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department using the emergency numbers, and officers are sent to remove those people and to help alleviate congestion if there is congestion. What the current acting chief of police from the JMPD, Director Xolani Maxwell Kanyile, he did instruct officers, was earlier this year, to take up points and control traffic during peak hour periods. That's between 6 and 9 in the morning and between 3 and 6 in the afternoon. But as I said, that we have received complaints where these people are controlling traffic outside of these peak hour periods. So officers have also been tasked to actually monitor those areas and to remove and control traffic when needed.
Mr. Fihla, just from my experience in the past week, since we've been having stage 6 on Tuesday, I've been driving around Joburg in my normal day-to-day and work, and I haven't seen a single JMPD officer directing traffic at a traffic light. So given that there is so much congestion during these peak hours and there is simply not enough manpower for the JMPD to man all the big crucial intersections, we don't expect them to be at every intersection, but Joburg has so many of these big intersections with multiple turning lanes where there is frankly chaos and there is nobody in sight. What are motorists left to do?
What we've also done is that we know that the city does have an agreement or a contract with Traffic Free Flow, which is sponsored by our insurance. So we do have some of those insurance pointsmen within those busy intersections. But with us as JMPD, it is also a challenge, as you did say, that we can't have every officer at every corner and at every intersection, because officers do have other duties like crime prevention and attending to bylaw complaints, and also protests and threatening and non-life-threatening incidents. So I still say that it's important for you as a motorist that when you do approach these intersections, take extra caution. Take extreme extra caution, because when an accident happens, then unfortunately the city won't be liable. Please call that emergency number. I'm going to give it out to the public. It's 011-375-5911. It's 011-375-5911, or they can call 011-375-5918. Then officers will be dispatched to help.
Okay, so if the city is not going to be liable in the event of an accident, who is liable? Because as far as my understanding goes, if I were to listen to an unauthorized person directing traffic, my insurer could refuse to pay out a claim. Is that correct?
It is correct, and that's why it goes back to you learning when it goes to your K53 and doing your driver's license. Is strict instruction is that if traffic lights are not working, treat that intersection as a compulsory stop. So you as a motorist, when you get to that intersection, you must take extra caution and unfortunately make sure that you're not involved in an accident.
So given that load shedding is ostensibly here to stay, the traffic lights cannot be relied upon to regulate the flow of traffic. Whose responsibility is it going to be going forward to put in place enough resources to alleviate traffic? Is it the Department of Transport? Is it traffic departments of each municipality? Because the situation is not likely to change in the next year or two. And frankly, South African citizens are not going to sit idly by and accept the excuse that, well, we don't have enough resources, because from now until the end of the year, there is enough time to plan and to put in place enough resources.
Yes, no, it is a big challenge. And what we do see as these unauthorized people are controlling traffic, we do find that at some intersections, they are controlling it well. So I think if we do sit down and have initiatives on where we can train people to actually control traffic, but the biggest problem is financial implications. There are budgets that are put in place within cities, municipalities, within the province, and also within the country. So if those stakeholders actually come and sit down and a plan of action is put forward, then we can work closely. I know there's some community policing forums that are actually willing and able to take up a point and also assist in controlling traffic. But at the end of the day, it has to be an authorized and trained person who does that.
How can motorists tell the difference between an authorized, trained person and someone off the street?
Now, that is really difficult to tell. But once you do see an officer with full uniform with a reflective jacket, then you know that you are safe. But we also know that these unauthorized people also have their reflective jackets, and they're also controlling traffic. So it is a bit difficult to tell, but it is important. As a person who usually uses the same routes all the time, you do actually know and tell that, no, this person is not meant to be there, and I'm meant to take up my phone and call the necessary authorities to come and assist.
Thank you very much. That was spokesperson for the Johannesburg Metro Police Department, Xolani Fihla, making it very clear that unauthorized South African citizens are not allowed to direct traffic at traffic lights when load shedding occurs. You're not supposed to listen to them. Apparently, you are supposed to call a number to report that situation so that JMPD officers can remove those people. The number to call, again, 011 375 5911.